What is happening? NoZoupForYou here with a preview of the Tier 10 Royal Navy Destroyer, Daring. Yes, he who dares wins. First, I want to give you an overview of what captain skills I'm using, or at least some very necessary captain skills, and I'll delve a little deeper into that. This is going to lead me onto a little tangent about something deeper that I think needs to be brought to light. Some of you already know this, but it's regarding one of the commander skills. So on this ship right now, I'm running some of the usual stuff. You know, last stand, you always got to have that. Superintendent, I've got that on there on the 17-point captain. I'm also using Demo Expert, and you absolutely have to use this on this ship because you absolutely have to use IFHE. And I'm going to go as far as to say, don't play this ship without IFHE. It will be nothing but one massive headache as it stands right now. And again, this is just a preview. All stats are subject to change, so things might change before the final version comes out. But for now, yes, IFHE is an absolute must. I also took Concealment on this because we like getting our Concealment as low as possible, and on this ship you can get your Concealment pretty low. And right now I'm going to give you some of those stats real quick, what these captain skills get my other stats down to. Survivability of this ship, you've got 20,800 hit points. I would have loved to have taken the extra hit points that I usually do for my Tier 10 destroyers, but the commander skill options just did not allow for that. Artillery is the fun thing here because with the way I have my ship set up, I've got a reload time of 2.2 seconds. That is a blazing fast reload. This thing absolutely spews shells. The problem is, though, these shells aren't that big. They're only 114 millimeters. Yes, that's slightly bigger than something like the Akazuki, but for a Tier 10 destroyer, I kind of like bigger shells. Firing range with my setup isn't that bad, 13.8 kilometers. You can reach out and touch some ships at a pretty good distance there. That is something that I'm kind of pleased about. Torpedoes, you carry a total of 10. And again, like most British ships, you can fire these singularly. And I would highly recommend that because if you don't, you get a widespread, which isn't that cool. Torpedo range on these is 10 kilometers, torpedo speed 62 knots. So that's not the best in the world, but it's also not the worst in the world. Very similar to the Minotaur. A defense is kind of in the middle. Stats show that it's a 51 out of 100. Maneuverability on this ship, in my opinion, leaves something to be desired. Maximum speed is 35 knots. You do not get a speed boost with this ship. That is something out of the ordinary for destroyers. I can't say that I like that at all. What you do get, though, is you get hydro, and you get smoke that is actually fairly decent. The smoke on this ship has an action time of 15 seconds. The dispersion itself lasts for almost 2 minutes at 113 seconds, and the reload on it is 160 seconds. So just a little over 2 minutes. However, the good thing about this is you don't have to wait that long to smoke up again, which is good because this ship is kind of made to sit and smoke and fire. It's not really a speed demon, but it is what it is. Upgrades on this ship. I chose to use the main battery mod 3 to decrease my loading time. I used Concealment because I want to get my Concealment as low as possible. And on this ship, with it being as low as possible, I've got it down to 5.7 kilometers, and that's actually pretty darn good. Not too upset about the Concealment on this ship. Just tinkering around with things. I put Steering Gears mod 2 on this ship, though I'm probably going to change it. Doesn't add too much value in my opinion. I also added AA Guns mod 2. It's alright. I've been able to shoot down airplanes in this, which is pretty good. I like that. But let's get on to the meat of what I want to say about this. And you're probably watching this video here and wondering what the heck I'm doing. I've been firing away at this Yamato forever. I've landed over 100 rounds, and I have done absolutely no damage. That's right, 0 damage, no fires, nothing. And this is before I switched over to my 17-point captain, which I redistributed using the balloons and set it up the way it needed to be set up. The version of the ship you're watching right now, I do not have IFHE on. The second version of this ship that you're going to see, where I'm absolutely pummeling a Yamato, though it's broadside, you know, this one's faced on, so that's a little different there. But still, if you're landing shots on the superstructure, you should be doing some form of damage. So when I switched to having IFHE, the whole entire world opened up to me. I could fire away at the Yamato and absolutely peg it, take damage off of it, even if I was hitting in places that without IFHE I wasn't causing damage. So there you have it. The daring in this preview, I'm going to tell you right now, you have to have almost a 19-point captain to get the most out of this ship. If you go into the daring with anything less and you don't take IFHE, in my opinion, you're just in for a world of misery. You are. The ship's not bad. I've had a lot of fun in it in the rounds I've been using with a better captain setup. I don't like how it feels a little sluggish. It's not the fastest in the world. The torpedoes aren't the greatest in the world, though you can make them work. The guns, yeah, and that's the odd thing right there. You know, the guns are small, but I do feel that this ship, with the combination of hydro and with its very, very rapid-firing guns, this ship is a DD's nightmare. It really is. It's in many ways kind of like the German destroyer line, though I will say this is one of the few ships that I feel comfortable actually pursuing a Hoboros skin. I will go after a cabbie in this ship, and I've done that. I've taken them on. This is one of the few ships that actually scares cabbies away when they see it. So that's one of the bright sides about this ship, but still, the guns aren't as good as the cabbie's guns. Now, to delve deeper into the rabbit hole, and I said this was going to happen, I'm not very happy with IFHE right now. Not at least where we've got to with it. It is rapidly becoming a must-take captain skill on a lot of ships. This one especially. I don't think it's right that if you don't take IFHE, your ship's guns aren't going to do good. It's just not a good path we're going down with it. And we know how damaging IFHE can be on some ships. This is really one of those situations in which the idea might have sounded good at first, but as we move further along, it's not that good. Really, on destroyers like these, it should come with IFHE included. You shouldn't have any other version of it. I don't know, maybe take the optional way to put IFHE on and just start with IFHE, because this ship is going to be worthless for many people without IFHE. In my opinion, at least. For me, it was worthless without IFHE. You saw what happened against that Yamato. 100 rounds, 0 damage, not even a fire. That was just unlucky. I guess RNG just decided to swap me down right there. But I do think we have come to a point with IFHE where it's just burdensome having to know that you're going to burn 4 commander skill points on it, because if you don't, your guns just aren't going to operate that good. And it shouldn't be the case. It just shouldn't. So I'm going to get off my soapbox right here. I don't want to continue talking too much about that. But I did say I was going to touch on it. The ship is very much like a Jekyll and Hyde. It's a Jekyll if you don't have IFHE. Or wait, is that a Hyde? I don't know. Hyde's the more docile one, right? I don't know. Anyhow, IFHE is a must on this ship. An absolute must. It's like 2 very different ships if you're not using it. It's good on one hand if you are using it. It's absolutely horrible on the other hand if you're not using it. And I hate for any commander skill to have that much power over a ship. But that's just the way it is with this ship right now in its current state in this preview version of the Daring. Still, I don't think it's a bad ship with IFHE. I had a lot of fun in it. I'm continuing to have fun in it. While it's not the fastest, those blazing fast guns do very, very dirty things against other destroyers, which I think there's a lot of value to that. This ship is good both as a destroyer hunter, and also it can hold its own against battleships and even cruisers. It can stand its ground, and the smoke lasts a long time. I know there are people that might not be fans of sitting in smoke and just firing away, but this is very much one of those ships that does that. It's kind of reminiscent of the Akazuki in many ways, and I like the Akazuki a lot. I mean, the ships are very comparable in ways. It's also nice having 10 torpedoes on it as well. Even though the range isn't that great, and the speed's not that great either, 10 torpedoes is nothing to sneeze at, and if you do catch a battleship unawares coming around a corner or something like that, you're absolutely going to destroy them. You know, guys, don't want to take too much more time from you all. Again, preview of the Daring, work in progress. Things are subject to change, but as it is right now, this ship with IFHE is a good ship. Without IFHE, it's a horrible ship. Thanks for watching. I am out.